it is crazy. I mean, everything is just waking up after the big freeze. I don't know about you guys, but everything is kind of haywire as far as internet. But you know what? We're here. We're just going to enjoy ourselves and have a good time. First of all, we're going to talk about image, and it's Monday, and we got Rique in with us. How are you, my darling?
I'm really good. How are you? And how is everyone?
You know what? We got our blue memo today.
There we go.
We're on virtual connections now. We got our Zoom meetings, and people haven't been in the office, and they think, why should I worry about what I look like on a little square? But your virtual meeting is as important as your in-personal meeting.
Oh, it really is. And it's important to just make sure that using the little tricks of the trade, that what works well for camera specifically does not work for real life, because people are taking selfies like this, and it's good to come down because no one really wants to talk to someone like this and seeing the up of their nose and all of this. But if you position the camera and you make sure there's no stray hairs, and all those little tricks are so important, because this is how we're communicating now.
Right.
And
let's talk about lighting when we're using virtual meetings, even if it's for your office, and you don't have to have a fancy light. You can use a ring light. We talk about those.
You're talking to someone who is now on a ring light, and this gives you an idea of what regular lighting is like. And the use of a ring light, or placing your camera in the window so you get the natural light. Look at the difference of what this is actually doing. And that's another trick of the trade. Now, if you're talking to your mom and you're wearing people coming over clothes, she doesn't care. So people can't get all tied up in that either.
Exactly.
So there's a fine line. But if you're going for something professional, make sure your background is clean and you're showing.
Right.
And you could do the Cosmopolitan Vogue magazine trick if you're a woman, and part your hair down the center and put this all forward like this. And eggs. But not if you're turning your head to talk like this. But it's important that we have to realize that people are now, this is the medium that we're living. I think Madonna should change her song to "We're living in a virtual world." And it's true. We're living in a virtual world, and it's beautiful. Lemonade.
Exactly. It is lemonade. There are some things that we can do with makeup, and we think, a little bit can go a long way, actually, if you're on camera.
I have to agree. And unless it's your trademark and you're going for an interview, I wouldn't wear bright red lips, because that's all going to be magnified. Unless you're a bright red lipper, and that's who you're going for an interview for Sephora. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's things that need to be modified, especially if you're going for a professional appearance, because everyone has to look their best these days, because it just comes down to first impressions. It's still a major thing. First impressions are lasting. And for men too, it's important. If they're here, I'll share a trick of the trade. Men, they don't want to shave these days, but if they're on camera, if they just shave underneath, did you see this little V I did? It gives a clean line so that you have some cleanliness, and you're not Joe Grizzly hanging out in your skivvies underneath and a shirt and tie on top, So it's important that everyone looks good and feels good, because when you look good, you feel good.
Dress accordingly.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's from here up.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember being in acting class with my dear friend, Ruth Sweet. And she said, when you're doing a character, wear the shoes of what that character would be. So because you would act and walk differently. And I bet she still has her heels on. during that, because it's all a part of what it's about.
Accessories. Our friend Payton Taylor has really gone above and beyond. She went to the Up and Down Closet in Hendersonville, where you have some of your things. You have
Yes.
accessorized today for our meeting. Look, show some of your accessories that you have on today.
Myself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have these wonderful bracelet here. And it also comes, I usually wear my one in lapis lazuli. I just have a few of these left. As you know, I'm clearing where I am now, going to a new location in a Gordon and Company in Berry Hill. And I love coral. This is not coral, this is amber.
Amber.
And isn't that a beautiful piece with coral and turquoise? It's lovely piece.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's the neat thing is I'm able to find individual pieces and make them special.
Also, we can follow Rique on Facebook. And do you do it from your regular Facebook page, or do you have a special group?
Rique Collection. This is all coming from, so people go and they can message me there, and that's where all the information coming out about the launch of the products and my silver line. So I'm very excited. Yeah. And the Up and Down Closet, I can give them kudos for what they're doing, because virtual stuff goes beyond just this and this. It's creating community.
And it's a consignment shop. Maybe you have some bags or some accessories or some shoes. Maybe you got a pair of shoes and I've never worn these, and I probably never will. Use it to just maybe fund something at your home. You go turn your unused into somebody else's use, and maybe some money for yourself. Here's Payton.
So like I said, something here for everybody. Some Louis Vuittons over here, and then just so much gorgeous jewelry. We have semi-precious stones, sterling silver, collections from Suzanne Summers. I believe there's some Diamondique. Just really from all corners of the world, from our awesome consigners who consign with us, and you can really just spend so much time going through all of these. Some estate jewelry, and we have some jewelry from just some crazy designers. This piece right here, it's from a designer who has work in the Smithsonian National Museum of American Indian Jewelers. His name is Jimmy Calabasa. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but just beautiful. Where else could you find this? To think, just up here in Hendersonville, it's right here. We have one of his pieces. Some more beautiful Native American Santa Fe Indian market pieces. This is a Sajin goddess pendant, which is just so neat. I love that little face. And then this is just so precious. I love a good squash blossom. This is a vintage squash blossom, and it's signed. A lot of these pieces have the name of the designer stamped on the back, so that means it's official. And this one is signed by F.L. Rique, and all of these little coco peles, he's apparently the goddess of mischief in a lot of cultures. Every little coco pele here is signed with his name on the back, and this I just absolutely love. This snake, this is by the designer Geronimo Fuentes, and it's a silver enamel snake, and it's just crazy. Look at that. But these are just a portion of the incredible vintage and designer pieces that we have here too. Some favorites, lots of Coldwater Creek, lots of Chicos, but then some that you can find here that are just one of a kind.
The Up and Down Closet is in Hendersonville, Tennessee. They have their own Facebook page and a group where you can actually do your shopping online, have it shipped to you wherever you are. And of course, Rique Collection, Rique Collection.
That's fun to get back. Every time I go there, I see something completely new, and it's just quality, and it's reasonably priced. And they do jewelry shows online specifically. So they're my mentors through this because I see the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's really fun. And there's actually another shop up in Hendersonville that does everything online. And y'all will have to tell me and message me. She's just the cutest thing in the world. And she's got this very Southern accent. And I just adore her. And she just puts on everything. And I cannot think of the name of the shop. In the comments, you know who I'm talking about. I love the interaction, don't you?
Oh, yeah. And well, the one thing I can see working many, many years with women, that there's certain things that are guy things. This is a women thing. And people who are stuck, especially during the pandemic, out in the middle of South Dakota, has no contact, know that they're interacting with people they don't know, but they know. So it's a beautiful thing. It's like the knitting circle back in the 1800s. It's something women do.
Exactly. My friend Ruthie Ponkar has Ruthie's Bling Shop or whatever, and she does these little jewelry sales online. Horrible. It's so much fun that you'll find your internet shopping group to join and be fun. And think about your virtual meetings.
Yes, virtual meetings are important, and holding on to who you are while you're talking that way. Some people are freaked about a camera, but it's just talking to that person and coming across who you are, making sure you don't look shiny and yada yada, but we're in this new world and it's a beautiful thing.
This is the stuff that we always talk about. It's brand new. And Rique, are you still looking for models?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And I have almost all the components in for the actual launch, but I do have the samples of it. And so if they just contact me, message me here, and I will contact them and put them on the mailing list when I do the mailing for sending samples out and product. I'm very excited. Shining silver.
Silver, from drab to our silver. And more people are going with their silver after this pandemic because they couldn't get in to get their color done.
Exactly. And they're embracing it, which is a beautiful thing.
True.
And they're enhancing it, so yeah.
I love you more than lunch and accessories.
I love you more than my luggage too. And I thank you so much. I appreciate you. And everyone have a wonderful week. It's up to you to make it great.
Thank you, Rique.
Love you.
Hey, we're going to check in with Brian Williams saying hello this morning. Great to see those smiling eyes. Oh, Brian, thank you so much. Andrew Brunet, who, by the way, has a wonderful show on StreamYard as well. Love you too, Andrew. Take care. Good morning to Ken Harrell this morning, who's got a brand new album, just cracked the top 40 in Christian country music with a brand new song. And let's see, our Main Street Today was part of Nashville Academy Theater, and Ruth Sweet was the director then. Yes, absolutely. We love our Nashville traditions, don't we? And Carolyn, love the Up and Down store in Hendersonville, Tennessee. First, we're going to take a look at a great show that is coming up on the 24th. It's called The Art of Conversation. It goes virtual. It's at Oz Arts, and you get to be part of really something very, very, very cool. Artists and experts in their field. You get to virtually go to their table like you were going to a cocktail party and actually get to meet them, ask them questions. Something that I host every Saturday. It is the best songwriting show in Nashville. It is the Backstage Nashville from 3rd and Lindsley, and it is the coolest thing ever. Mainly because it's a matinee, and I want to play this video from one of their shows. It's like being in a living room situation. That's the way they set it up. Very safe, very socially distanced. It is really, really, really cool.
Some songs can hang around for a long time on a shelf. This song hung around for about 6 or 7 years on a shelf. We wrote this song, me and Big Al Anderson and Sheryl Crow. wrote it about 6 years ago. And she just cut it on her new record, bless her little self. I knew it was a big deal, but I hadn't heard it yet. And my friend called me and got it on the radio a couple weeks back. He said, man, how many legends can you get on one song? And I went, what are you talking about? He said, my gosh. He said, it's got Stevie Nicks on it. And I went, Stevie Nicks? He said, Joe Walsh. I went, what? Vince Gill. Good looking boy. And then this little girl named Maren Morris. And old Sheryl Crow. Well, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. You said if you left, I'd be drowning in a pool of tears. 'Cause without you, baby, I'd be sad and lonely. No one will love me around here. Well, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. Come on, Ray. Oh, now you told all your friends I wouldn't find a man like you. And I'd be going crazy, 'cause without you, baby, I wouldn't have nothing to do. Well, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. To prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much. Oh, it wouldn't take much. No, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. So much. Y'all should know that I practiced that song about 350 times today. And again, I made up words. You're getting all originals today. I'm just saying.
I want to talk to you a little bit about our friends at Monster Home Services. They do amazing work. Big J is a builder, and he does beautiful add-ons. Let's say you've got a patio. You probably haven't used it very much, but if you encase that patio this with some privacy in it, you might actually go out there and enjoy some time out there. Maybe an outdoor kitchen. Maybe you want a patio cover so that when it's sunny and hot, you can go out and enjoy it and have some indoor out rooms. Take a look at this ceiling, that beautiful bead and board ceiling that they do. It's incredible the work that they do. When you've got builders who've worked with suppliers and they said, you know what, we can do the work as well for a lot less money. That's why the phone is ringing off the hook and called Pet Screens. If you're like me and you've got your feral cats that you take in, I've got an animal rescue. Cats can do damage to anything in a house. And even if they're not yours, guess what they have? This amazing pet screen it's cat proof. It's the coolest thing I have ever seen. If you'd like to find out more about what Monster Home Services can do, you give Amber Collier a call. And she is standing by right now. And all you have to do, everything you can find, everything about it, their gallery, everything at Monster Home Services, LLC. Well, we're going to introduce a guy who's standing in the waiting room right now, and I just can't wait for you to meet him. He is a troubadour from downtown Nashville.
Daddy raised me just outside of Memphis. A second generation doctor, thank you, with hopes to pass it down. I saw grown men weep and mamas cry when his fine-tuned hands and knowing eyes gave a man more life than he would have been allowed. He dreamt I'd be the one to wear his coat, but tuning keys and guitar strings paved a different road. Well, I hope he knows I'm still my father's son. And I hope he's proud of the man I have become. I found my own way through different means, sewing up the heart with different strings. How many people love country music? This is what we like right here. So if you've ever been to Seagarth, you know about this last verse. So sing it with us. Well, I guess I was wrong. I just don't belong. But then I've been there before. Yes, I have. Everything's alright. I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the... Now, I didn't mean to cause a big scene. Just wait till I finish this glass. Sweet little lady, I'll head back to the bar, and you can kiss my ass. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. Well, I'm not big on social grace is gonna slip on down to the so I've got friends in low places. Yeah, I've got friends in low places.
Greg Pratt joins us.
How are you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing great. I get so tickled because so many people who are downtown, they've got the full band and everything. You go out there with a guitar, foot tambourine, and amazing fit. Gauge your people. It's great.
It's a good time. I'm looking at a lot of those clips pre-pandemic, and I forget how many people we'd have in a room at once. It's a lot of energy, but it's great to feed off that much energy too.
Yeah.
The show gets so wild too.
Now you're still playing down there, but the rooms are not full like that anymore.
It's a little bit different. So, side note, I grew up at age 12. Everybody in my family has to learn how to swing dance. So it used to be kind of a really cool thing where we'd play a couple songs and then I'd let the fiddler play a song on his acoustic guitar, and I get down and dance with somebody and do the swing dance and the dip and then the flip. And then it would just be this part of the show that just came off the stage. But right now it's I think everybody has to stay seated, and there's no dancing. And I understand that we've got to keep it together. But I'm praying for the day where we can get back up and just kind of be fully us. And I think it's coming. Things are looking good.
They are looking good, especially for you in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this new project that's on the way, Greg.
I'm super excited for it. I think it's been a long journey. And I have to thank my management team here because one of the big parts about being an artist in town, apart from an entertainer, being a recording artist, is a lot about finding out who you are and exactly how you want to say what you want to say. And that message, what you want to say, has to move other people. And then your delivery has to do the same. So it's been a kind of a long search. I had 2 EPs that I released in my first few years here in town that I kind of did on my own. And this first project is the first project that I've been part of a team with a direction who we spent plenty of time getting to know exactly who I was and what I wanted to say. And that's a journey within itself for everybody. Even if you think you know who you are, you really get into it, you can learn stuff about yourself every day, just like you learn about somebody else every day.
Truth.
If you love them.
You know, you've learned a lot of stuff about yourself in the past year, and your story, you know, parents, both doctors. I know they loved when you announced that you were moving to Nashville to pursue music.
And what was funny about it was, I remember being like, "Mom, hey, I'm going to Nashville." She's like, "Oh, text us when you get back." And it's like, "Oh, you're not going for a week." I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to sing country music." Well, you're going to finish college. The conversation got a little awkward from there on, but that's nearly, I want to say 5.5 to 6 years ago now. So I think, especially with that song that you guys heard in that video, Different Strings, the song myself, Josh Wolf, and David Cleek wrote for my dad, and for anyone else who found the strength to find their own way and pave their own road. And I think that's a part of everybody's journey for sure.
You've got all sorts of parts of your story that I cannot wait for you to relate to people. And, you found out all sorts of things about yourself, and you've spoken up about things in your life that you have discovered because you want to help other people. Do you want to share that now, or do we want
to do that?
Okay, sure.
So through my management team and I growing up, and I'll kind of lightly touch on this, apart from my dad being a very, very successful surgeon, my mom being a very successful pediatrician, going the entertainer / recording artist music industry route is a little bit of an eyebrow raiser for sure, especially leaving college at the very, very, very end. The other thing though is they called them twitches from an early age. I know I was tested very early, and I guess for a 6 to 7 year old, the word Tourette syndrome is a mouthful. But it's something that I've kind of had to deal with every waking moment. And there was a little bit of a worry entering the industry because the industry is so social, and it's something that's so acutely present and right there in front of you. And I know a lot of people that have Tourette syndrome or experience living with Tourette syndrome. It's a lot worse than me. For me, it's little stuff. But again, that speaks to the power of music. As soon as I start singing and playing my guitar, it completely disappears. And I'm thankful every day that music has that healing power. And I think that that's something, especially coming out of everything that's been going on in the last year, that we really need to focus on is love and healing for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's incredibly brave to be very honest, because we don't ever come into this, our imperfections are what make us perfect in God's eyes. Literally, that's the way we use it and way we unify. And to share about Tourette's is important because there are mothers and fathers who listen to this show and watch this show. There are also children and adults who've lived with something that has made them feel less than, or because they're afraid. And so thank you for standing up for that and for sharing that. And I just remember meeting you, and I didn't even notice anything, but what I did notice about you was this voice that came out of you, that it's so rich and it's so good and incredible songwriting. Now we're going to do something different because you've got a new album coming out, and because we're going to release the album. We're not playing the whole song for our love songs. We're just playing a clip.
Yeah, just me and a guitar.
But you guys listen to this. This doesn't tell you that this is going to be the wedding song for everybody when this finally comes out.
I hope so.
Woo!
I hope so. I really do.
Give a listen to Greg Pratt.
Look in my eyes, straight to my soul. Change me forever and all that I know. 'Cause when you touch me, you touch more than my skin. I wanna feel it till you touch me again. Over and over, over and over, over and over, and all the way through. All I want is you endlessly. The world will always turn. The sun will always burn. Just like I yearn endlessly. More and more with each heartbeat. You're the reason I believe. You're all I'll ever need. Endlessly.
I want to hear more. I'm so excited about the new project. When will the new project be out, Greg?
So right now we're about to go into the mixing process, and we're trying to be very selective about how we do what we do too. And that's because I'm a firm believer, and again, with the guidance of my team, have really focused me on how valuable this is, that the music and the lyrics, and whether it's the song or the actual sonic flavor of the record, has to accurately depict what's going on in the artist's heart. And I think that's kind of where we're at. So we're being really kind of careful about what we do. So we're probably about, I want to say 75% done, but really, really working hard on trying to do it the right way, and making sure, again, we're not dragging our feet here. We want to release this thing as quickly as possible, but we want to do it absolutely right. And I know that's another thing that's really been relayed to me by my team at Brogo Music Group, is that if you're going to do it, you need to do it right. You need to do it full speed. And sometimes full speed means taking a step and really kind of making sure you're making the right call. But so far, I'm completely impressed with what we've put together so far. And I know that mixing process is that last transformation where it's like adolescence for these songs. Like if you look at a song as a kid, and it's those teenage years that kind of make that song become what it really is. And that's where we're at right now. It's a super exciting process.
Well, I cannot wait to hear the final project. And you guys share at Greg Pratt Country. That's where you can find him, Greg Pratt Country. And because you have two T's in Pratt, when I sent you the first link, it was to GreggPratt.
Yeah, I get double G'd sometimes on stage whenever I have to say my name. It's like, hey, my name is Greg Pratt.
No, one G.
GreggPratt.
I love it. Well, thank you, darling. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show. I really appreciate you being here.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Bye. Well, you guys, the project, they have given me some sneak listens, and I will tell you, it's just fantastic. Tell you what can really sneak up on you, and that is the cost of medical bills. If you find yourself in need of health insurance, one Google search and a questionnaire could start your phone ringing and those emails and those texts coming from companies all over, and it can be really confusing. And sometimes you get caught up in buying something only to find that it covers very little of what you actually need. And sometimes it can be too late to do anything about it. You know, after the fact, like when you need your insurance. That's why one click to my friend, my insurance guy, Health Insurance Harvey, can keep that from happening. HarveyDurham.com. Chat with him, set up a virtual appointment anywhere in the country practically. He's licensed in 40 states. He'll look at your needs, your budget, and share every single thing that his insurance is going to cover and what it won't. You don't pay for what you don't need. If he can't save you money or can't give you better coverage, he won't sign you. You are under no obligation. So do yourself a favor. Get a free comparison quote from Health Insurance Harvey. It just might work for you like it did me. I'm not his commercial announcer. I'm his client at harveydurham.com. That's our show for today. Watching, hope that you will click like wherever that is, and we hope that you will share this program with somebody else. Tag them in the comments and let us know if you're watching on the replay. We'd love to hear about that too. God bless you. Remember that just be safe and be kind. And remember, you are loved.